Jonah, the first chapter. I had been reading different, beginning at verse 4, and we'll end at verse 6. 6 is where we're going to come from. If you want to have it, say amen. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was likened to be broken. Then the mariners were afraid and cried, every man unto his God. Y'all see that's a little G? His God, meaning that whoever you serve, that's who you pray to. And I look at that little G, I'm thinking of the olive garden. So, and cast forth the way that were in the ship into the sea, to lighten it for them. But Jonah was gone down into this side of the ship, and he was fast asleep. So, right here, so the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, what meaneth thou asleep? That was a question. Arise, call upon thy God. So there's a different God that he was talking to Jonah about. If so be that God will think upon us, that we present praise not. So after, verse 7, and they said, every one to his fellow, come and lay us and cast lots, that we may know for those cause. This cause evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lots fell upon Jonah. I want to use as a thought for the day, Lord, save me. Lord, save me. In this chapter, there was a need for God's help. But sometimes we can be disobedient and causes these afflictions to fall on us. When we learn to obey, things will work out better. Even with our children are supposed to obey the parents. Or let me go a little further. They are supposed to obey the adults, those that's over you. It doesn't have to be your birth mother. It doesn't have to be your personal father. It could be any adult that is over you. They are supposed to obey. Many times I've seen adults say, baby, don't do that. They'll tell them quick, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You're not my daddy. But used to, the parents could chastise that child and go to his parents and tell that parent he was acting up and I spanked him. I talked to him. And now, the parents used to say, well, I'm going to get him again. What did he do? Now that child would get there and say, Mama, she hit me for nothing. Daddy, he hit me for nothing. And all of this, and they take up for the children. Now, if you look at the world, the people in the world today, I started to say the world, but it's not the world. It's the people that are in the world that are not training the children like they're supposed to. And when they grow older, then you can see the violence that's going on in this whole world. What good is it doing for people to break in stores and windows? You can't bring that man back. Amen. You can't do nothing, but if we put it in the hands of, let them know what we stand for. But if you put it in the hands of the right people, things will come out better. you're tearing up stores, you're stealing, you're doing everything and burning, the price of your meat and whatever else is going to go up. Your taxes is going to go up. Have I got a witness? Then in our NAACP meeting, they tells us when you're a member of the NAACP, you cannot march in these activities. You turn it over to the directors, and they would go from there to help you. In the meeting last Thursday, that's what they began to tell us. If you're a member, stay out of the march. Because let the pencil and paper and voices be heard, seen, and read. So therefore, this is why you pay your dues to be in the NAACP or whatever organization you're in. So therefore, when we step back and let God take control, things will work out. Have I got a witness? Now to prove my point for disobedience, God gave instruction to Jonah. These are the things I want. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go to Nineveh. There are some people need your help. I'm sending you to Nineveh to preach and to teach them, because Nineveh was an evil city. And I want you to go. So, if you read verse 1 through 3, it tells what Jonah did and did not do. Then, no doubt, the shipmasters and all of them had been traveling through this sea times after time. Nothing boastful had happened like this, according to the search of the Bible. So, there was, should I say, a misfit on the ship. Y'all not getting what I'm saying? So that misfit means that trouble can start because you're out of ark of safety. You're not, and then misfit is when you are in a crowd where you shouldn't be. You know that you're not supposed to be in with this dirty crowd. What I mean by dirty, cussing, want to fight, steal. And the Bible said when you become a Christian, let your light so shine that men and women may see the grace of God in you. Isn't that right? Then on the other hand, the Bible tells us to separate ourselves where? From the world. So therefore we are misfit. But in that position, even why should I go and sit with the teachers and I'm not a teacher? I used to work on grounds. And why should I go and sit with them in their meeting? That's a misfit. Have I got a witness? So therefore, we have to learn our places. We have to learn and know what our positions are. To be in on one accord, we must be a child of God. So Jonah, he was a misfit in the midst of these sailors. So now he paid his fare to go where he wanted to go. Not where God sent Jonah, but he went where he wanted to go. So he disobeyed God. And when we disobey God, then things would happen. And then watch this. When it started happening to him, oh Lord, have mercy, help me, Lord. Why call on him then when he gave us instruction what to do? Isn't that right? Even we get mad at the highway patrol. The police officer. That sign, that big red and white sign says, stop. You can what did you say that sign say? So therefore, we'll forget and go by that stop sign and not stop. Then here come these red and blue lights. Then we are what? Angry. What are he stopping me for? And then you didn't stop at the stop sign. I thought I did. Thought and knowing is two different things. Have I got a witness? So God has gave Jonah instruction of what to do. The DPS, the Highway Patrol, or should I say state trooper, excuse me. The state trooper, he hid underneath that hill. And the speed limit says 60 here. And you driving 70 or 75 in that 60 zone. Am I right? Then when you get up on them, you try to hit your brakes, it's too late. Why? Because we had disobeyed the law. And this is what is happening to us today. We disobeying God, and we are wondering why this world is, the people in the world is in the shape that we're in. He's been trying for years and years to get us straight. Jesus had. But we're not taking heed to what he's trying to show us. So now I've seen earthquakes. I've seen storms. I've seen fire. But you're still not listening. You're not taking heed. I've seen brush fires. And so many thousands and thousands of acres has been burned. I'm trying to get y'all attention, but you're not taking heed. Now I've started sending earthquakes. Now volcanoes are erupting. Now that shimmy, which is in the waters that make these waves come and destroy. I'm still trying to get your attention, but you're not listening. You're not taking heed. Now, here's a virus. I hate to keep saying this, but the virus is here. So many thousand have lost their lives. We don't have a cure for this disease yet. Let me read my Bible. Let me find out in the lesson this morning where wisdom and understanding come from. The 7th chapter of 2 Chronicles, the 14th verse. Can y'all help me with that? If my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and turn, y'all helping me, from their wicked ways and seek my face and do what? Pray. Y'all know that scripture. And pray. Then shall I hear from heaven. And I will heal this disease. Are y'all following me? But we are disobedient, thinking man can do this, man can do that. God is the head. God is our doctor. God is our provider. Amen. He's our protection. He's the one that can heal, but we all have to turn to him and be on one accord. So Jonah, he disobeyed God and he turned away from God. And that's the second mistake. The first mistake, I disobeyed him. And then the second mistake, I turned away from God. Have I got a witness? So when you turn away from God, meaning that I walked away from him. And then when something's happened, then I have to go back to him. Lord, why did you let this happen? Lord, I withdrew my hands from you. You walked away from me. Remember, I never leave you, nor will I what? So, lo, I'm with you always, even to the end. So you left me. I'm standing right where you left me. So therefore, it's our fault. But God is standing there, Jesus standing with his hand wide open saying, come unto me, all ye that are labored and heavy laden, what? I will give you rest. Take this yoke upon me and learn of me. Have I got a witness? So this is a teaching lesson. So therefore, Jonah had turned away from God. And when he turned away from him, the storm came. And the Bible said God sent a strong wind in that sea. And then when that storm came and the waves began to rock the ship, they said it's about to break in two. So while it was about to break in two, don't you know when we sin and we break in God's heart? So the ship was about to break, and then the shipmaster, they began to say, let's lighten the load so we can save the lives. And Jonah was not worried. Jonah was in the bottom of the ship. The Bible said fast asleep. And a lot of time we are missing our blessing because we'll sleep. And I'm not talking about this natural sleep. We'll sleep in sin. And we are missing the mark. So therefore, they said, everybody call upon their God. And then what they said? And they began to call upon their God. Well, it shows that little G, meaning that I have a wooden God. I have an iron God. I have a golden calf God. But he said, whoever your God is, pray that he will save us. That won't work. But then when he got to Jonah and woke him up, he said, wake up, O sleeper. He said, wake up. And when he woke him up, he said, pray to your God. Now, this was a misfit, should I say. The shipmaster asked Jonah, who was he? Where was he from? He said, I'm a Hebrew. Have I got a witness? So then he was a Hebrew that said, well, what causes this to happen? Jonah had to confess. Have I got a witness? And when he confessed, he said, now you can take me and throw me overboard. Why, Jonah, the third time? Because I have disobeyed the Lord. And I have caused this trouble to come upon you. Yeah. Now in Jonah, it tells us God prepared a great fish. Have I got a witness? Yeah. It did not say what size it was, what kind it was, but it says a great fish. Have I got a witness? If you would go with me to Matthew the 12th chapter and the 40th verse, it'll tell you that God prepared a whale. Y'all don't believe that? Look at Matthew 12. Start at 22 through 30. And it said, God prepared a whale. And so was Jonah in the belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights. So shall the Lord be in the heart of the earth 3 days. Talking about Jesus died. 3 days and 3 nights. So now let's look at this point. We said Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It couldn't be. So it had to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Because he said early Sunday morning. Have I got a witness? So that's 3 days and 3 nights in the ground. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So early Sunday morning, he got up with all power in his hand. Have I got a witness? That's what Matthew 14 and 22 through 30 told me. So therefore, when Jonah forsake God, he had a punishment. Things came upon him. But you notice that after they threw him overboard, the sea came. Lord have mercy. When you in a wrong place, and thank you, at the wrong time, she read my notes, at the wrong time, something is bound to happen. If Jesus is not in the midst, you can't get no help. And let me tell y'all something, a bullet has no name. It just travel. Gun laws, it's the gun laws. When you take gun, the gun is no problem. The bullet is no problem. It's the person that's handling the gun. Causes a problem. You can take that gun and lay it there. It never will move until you pick it up. And then you start shooting. And then that's when action starts. Have I got a witness? Why don't you pick up the main weapon? The main weapon.
All right.
He's a shield. He's a sword. He's a protection. He's our everything. That's why David wrote, "The Lord is my shepherd."
Jonah.
Have I got a witness? So Jonah, he disobeyed God and trouble came upon him. Then he said, "Lord, save me." Why call me now, Peter? Jonah? Why you want to call me now? Why don't you just keep doing what you was doing? You didn't call me. You down there asleep. You didn't call me before. Why do you want to call me now? Not only that, I read in John. Lord help me. I thought I wrote it down. But in John, where Peter saw Jesus walking on the water. Have I got a witness? And while he was walking on the water, he said, "Lord, save." While he walked on the water, he said, "Lord, bid me to come to you." And the Lord told him, said, "Come, Peter." And Peter went to him. And can you see him how he was walking? Y'all look at me. I'm walking on the water. He told me to come. He began to sink. Why? Because he took his eyes off of Jesus. And that's some of our attitude that we get when God blesses us and picks us up. I'm above all of you all. I have my doctor's degree. I have my master's degree. But let me tell you something. If I don't have Jesus in my heart, I'm going to sink. And Peter began to sink, and then he cried out, "Lord, save me." Have I got a witness? So when God stretched his hand, Jesus stretched his hand out and picked him back up, then he came back to himself. So a lot of times we get beside. That's what my dad used to tell me. "Oh, you get beside yourself, huh? Well, come in, I can bring you down." And I didn't like the way he would bring me down. And so here, Jonah was one that disobeyed God. So after that, he began to call on God. In verse 6, he said, "Lord, help me." In other words, forgive me. Have I got a witness? So we need to pray and ask God to forgive us of all of our sin, and then don't go back into that anymore. That's why David said, "Create in me." Have I got a witness? I made some mistakes. I've done wrong, but Lord, I need you to clean me up. What can wash away my sins? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Lord, cleanse me. Cleanse my heart. Cleanse my mind. Help me to love you more. Help me to do your will. Help me to love one another. Have I got a witness? So when we learn to do that, he's cleaning us up. That's why Paul said, "Things that I used to do, I don't do them no more." Where I used to be envy and jealous and hatred of Reverend Frazier, now God is changing me, so I'm able to go to him and look at him. Have I got a witness? But then while I'm going to him, I have to confess. Oh, y'all not here. Reverend Frazier, I said some bad things about you. I lied on you too. But what I did first, I had to pray. And ask God to forgive me. That's it. And then touch his heart that he'll be able to receive and accept my apology. Have I got a witness? Amen. Haven't you heard some people when you tell them they were wrong? Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That didn't sound like you really forgave.
No, it didn't.
Well, I'm so sorry I said that to you. I've done wrong to you. I got out in front of you, whatever the case. I'm so sorry. Will you forgive me? And don't just be looking. When this person is standing here, well, I'm sorry, just forgive me. I didn't mean to say
They don't mean
that.
that.
That's not a
They don't mean that.
So you're not meaning it from your heart. So here, Jonah had to pray and ask God to forgive him. Yes. But then the men on the ship, they began to realize, let's row faster, let's get him to land, let's get that. That's not what God wants. There's a lot of times we want things, but God said, no, this is not what you want. This is not what you need. I have to give you, I have to give you what you need, not what you want. So therefore, Jonah said, go ahead and throw me overboard. No, we don't want your blood stain on our hand. We got to save you. God have mercy. So I feel like, now the Bible said, do not add or take from. I feel like after Jonah explained to them who he was and who God was to him, they had to change their method of serving our God. Then they said, Lord, we don't want it. They started calling on Jonah's God. Have I got a witness? God, we don't want his blood stain on our hand. Finish reading chapter 1 and chapter 2. So after that, he began to pray to God, and it still didn't work. So the faster they would row, more stronger that the wind and waves would get. Then after Jonah told us that the Lord want me to be overboard. Did the Lord want you overboard? He want me to just throw me overboard. They threw him overboard. And after they threw him overboard, the Bible said God prepared that great fish. Verse 11. He started at verse 11. He prepared a great fish to come and swallow up Jonah. Can you hear Jonah? God, I thank you for before that happened. Excuse me. Before that happened, God, I thank you for this day. I praise you, Lord. But oh, when he threw him overboard. Y'all know how somebody do that quick prayer. I prayed. How did you pray? But when he threw Jonah overboard, I'm closing. When he threw Jonah overboard and that fish swallowed him. And the Bible said it carried him down to the bottom. Have I got a witness? Seaweeds and all began to wrap around his neck. Lord, I believe that little prayer changed to a big love. The Bible said he turned his face towards the temple. Now I want you to get this. There's another point. He turned his face towards the temple. He's in the bottom of the sea. He's in a whale's belly. Good question. He turned his face towards the temple. Jesus is the temple. And we also the temple of Jesus Christ. But Jesus is the temple. So he lifted up his eyes. Come here, David. From which cometh my help. Have I got a witness? He prayed and he prayed and he prayed. Excuse me. Jonah, look at here. This is what I want you to do. This well is going to carry you to dry land. It didn't say Jonah was in that belly for 3 days and 3 nights. Can you imagine it was smelling? Lord, Lord. The slime. Oh, boy. Because it said the seaweeds and all wrapped around his neck. And when it wrapped around his neck, he began to cry out to God more and more. Why is it that when we get more and more in trouble, we start calling God more and more? Why do we have to wait till we get deeper in trouble, start saying, Lord, help, Lord, have mercy? When things was well, who were you calling on? Did you call him when things was well? Did you tell him thank you? What did we do? We watch TV, we on our phone, we text and we call, and we're too busy to read our Bible, to pick up our Bible. But now trouble comes. Lord, have mercy. I got to read, I got to study. Get on the phone then. Child, and verse on, so I don't understand. You haven't been calling me before. Why are you calling me now? But yeah, I can help you with this. Yeah, let's read it together. Yeah, you know we need to have Bible study together on this phone. Well, we have Bible study at the church. Yeah, but I can't go there just yet. But when you die, and your name is on the church roll, hadn't been here 20-something years, 30-something years. I'm a member of Lone Star. Bring my body. When I die, go ahead and you my pastor. Bring the body here. Oh, he was a good man. Oh, she was a good woman. Well, she may be good, or he may be good helping somebody. You know, you can help people. But if your heart is not right with God, my verse, Matthew 5:8, blessed are the pure in heart. I don't care what you do for the church, for the city, for the community. If your heart is not right, then your labor is in vain. That's why he tells us, beware of wolves in sheep clothing. I can preach to y'all. I can teach to you. If my heart is not right with God, come in and preach. Give me a few dollars. I'm done. Not worried about your whole soul or heart. That's not what Jesus says. So therefore, we must. So Jonah, he began to pray to God. And as I close, when he prayed, I'm quite sure he was saying, Lord, save me. Verse 6. And when God began to save him, he said, now, he sent that whale. I didn't know how fast that whale went, but he spit him out on dry land. Nineveh was 500 miles, according to what my commentary says, away. Oh, Brother Jonah.
3 days.
In 3 days, he made it. He would have won every star on the face of the track team. He would have got every medal running. And people have records of the fastest man in the world. Go back to Jonah. In 3 days, and one day, he made that journey. Can you believe now? He's happy. Lord, here I am. I'm ready to do what you want me to do now. You done whoop me. And that's the problem. God can whoop us until we start working. Lord, I do your will now. Why do you have to get a whoop from the Lord just to do his will? That's when we was children. Don't y'all go to that house. Don't y'all go to that river. Hard-headed. Mama in there sleep. Slip off and go down there. And then Mama wake up and look out the door or the window. We not there. And they had some good moms in those days. Hey, come here. Sometimes that voice echo. You try to run behind a tree, try to hide. You go around behind the house. Ma'am, sir,